This is how I turned a simple mac and cheese and pizza brand into something that can take over the world. It took 7 failed logo, a brand pattern that looked like crime scene, a mascot that I had to redraw from scratch because I forgot the brief, client rejection, chopping, slicing, dicing and crafting the logo, and spending 6 freaking hours refining one single shape. Here is the chaos behind building a brand identity. Okay, look up. So client reached out to me saying he wanted branding for his mac and cheese and pizza spot, and the name Mac and Slice, a fast food brand serving customizable mac and cheese and Detroit style pizza. Their goal was to go from one store to global franchise, and their vibe was bold, urban, fun, youthful, and built to stand out uniquely in this crowded market. Think of it as a comfort food with bold attitude. So I put on my detective hat and did some deep market research, competitor stocking, analysis, and fast food trends. I looked at who's killing it, who's flopping, and how we can position our brand uniquely in this crowded market. And from that, I built 2 audience profiles. First, the feel-good foodie. They are bright, playful, young, and social. Second, the street eaters. They are urban, stylish, bold. Basically, they do whatever the they want. Then I turn that into a mood board. It's basically visual direction of logo, colors, photography, and anything that shows mood and emotion of brand. And I sent them both to client. He wanted to mix some of this, some of that, so I mashed them together into one final mood board. Now we've got solid visual direction, and we can finally start with the fun part, which is designing the brand identity. Okay, look up. So I started with a rough sketch on a sticky note. It helps me dump all of my chaotic ideas super fast. Refine further in Procreate, dropped it in Illustrator to test things out. Concept was stretchy, melting, cheesy lettering. Sounds fun, but nah, into the bin. Then I shifted to M, added a macaroni inside it to give it a smile shape, but it kinda looked a bit cliche. Also, when I removed the holes, it kinda looked like one-eyed monster, but I see potential. I'll be back. Second round, so I sliced the top to visualize the word sliced and made S a little bit more sharper, looks stronger and more intentional. Alright, looks cool. Then I added a cheese slice with ampersand. So the big idea was cheese combines the ingredient together and ampersand combines the word together. Finally, something with potential. Next, I drew brand pattern, a stretchy, melting, dripping cheese. I tested it with some letter and it looked really good. Then I went back to sleep. And when I wake up, something felt off. It kinda looked like blood rather than cheese, and with how f***ed up the world is right now, definitely not a good idea. Into the bin. Also, the lettering also felt bit off. As you can see, if I center the mac, the slice looks off, and if I center the slice, the mac looks off. So here's the thing, a logo needs to look balanced when you drop it inside circle, box, or any container, because that's how it's going to live on social media, packaging, and basically everywhere. If it's not balanced, it doesn't look good. Into the bin. Oh wait, how about we change the mac and center the N, and S was sticking out, right? So how about we slice it off, because the name is Mac and Slice. Get it? Mac, slice? No? Okay, look up. Alright, now it's looking much better. Oh wait, the M looks nice. Let's pull out the M concept we did earlier and implement it here. I made it a bit thinner and balanced. Now we got our logo mark. Next, brand illustration. First I drew retro style pizza, then takeaway mac and cheese. Then I thought, why not turn it into a character? So I gave it arms, legs, a face, and a little flag. But wait, then I remembered they actually sell it in a box. Great, so I redraw everything. Boom. I also changed the color of logo mark because before it looked like McDonald's cousin. Now my boy Mac was feeling alone, so I drew Detroit, a pizza slice. Now both are happy. Mac is fun-loving, happy, and full of positivity, whereas Detroit is bold, stylish, cool, with some attitude. Then comes the most important part, the visual language. It's basically a system that makes your brand visually recognizable and consistent everywhere. For mac and cheese, I took sharp and clean lines from the logo to create bold and energetic look. So first reason was to stand out from those soft and curvy style that has been overused in fast food branding. And second, it matched perfectly with brand values. So as I explained, visual language is very important. So I tested with highly sophisticated and extremely technical method called peekaboo. So I basically cover my eyes, peek for a second, cover my eyes, and if I can still remember it, it works. And I do it for 2 reasons. First, in a crowded market, you have to stand out in a glance. And second, it has to carry brand's values and emotions like joy, boldness, confidence, and everything brands stand for. Because at the end, cool design means nothing if it can't make you feel anything. Because the real goal is to make people feel something. I use the same sharp and bold visual language to draw other brand assets and illustrations. Then I put everything inside brand presentation. So let's have a look together. So obviously we start with our mood board, our lettering logo, our logo mark, a breakdown of lettering logos, breakdown of logo mark, lettering, logo mark, and obviously our visual elements, some color palettes, typography pairing, and obviously our boys, some brand assets, brand pattern, different pattern, branding actions, and now these are some cool stuff. And as you can see, I use this sharp element here as well, here. And this is our packaging, another packaging, some social media designs, packaging, caps, packaging. This one came out really nice. Shop signs, billboard, tote bag, and yeah, that's it. Now everything was looking just perfect. I felt like I made something godly and I was super confident about it. So I sent it to client and he really liked it. But he wanted to see different logo version. And I was like, because this logo was the soul of entire branding. It gave birth to that sliced and sharp visual language through which all the other brand assets were made. Without it, the whole system falls apart. Then I went back to sleep. New day, new beginning. Let's start again. Client wanted to tone down the sharpness of the letter because it felt too much in your face. And yeah, I agree. So I made few versions. First, I gave slice a bit more curve. He also wanted to see something curvy, so I did few more sketches. And that's how we end up with options. Sent it to client and waited. Now this time he liked all of it and was having hard time choosing. So he finally picked the version 1, but he wanted to add ampersand of version 3. And I said, I got you. And that's how we end up with the final sketch. Now logo was logged in, but I still felt something was off. So I went back in and started refining. I did both vertical and horizontal layout to make sure logo is versatile and refine them individually to make sure everything is balanced and consistent. And after 6 hours of refining, we finally got our final logo. Whew, now the logo mark. I turned the ampersand into mix of and infinity. So the big idea was ampersand symbolized the combinations of ingredient together, and infinity sign symbolized their unlimited customization of mac and cheese, which is their main selling point. Then I took the smile macaroni shape, stretched it, combined both, boom, now it has smile. So since we changed the logo, old visual language was not gonna work. So looking back at the mood board, I saw checker pattern, but it was too generic. And I also didn't want to use those curvy, wavy elements because it was too soft and didn't look urban. So I combined both and made a wavy checker pattern, sharp, bold, yet playful. I used this wavy checker pattern across all branding assets. What was sharp before is now wavy and playful. Then I wrapped it all inside brand presentation, so let's have a look together. So this is our lettering logo, stacked version, our horizontal version, our logo mark, breakdown of lettering logo, breakdown of logo mark, visual language, color, typography, our boys, and everything has become now wavy, brand pattern, another pattern, now brand in action, and everything has become now wavy. And as you can see, we have used the container here as well, and packaging has changed. This looks a lot more cleaner now. Everything is changed and has more of that wavy checker pattern. Now it has more curves, our caps, some more packaging. This one looks really nice. Shop sign, billboard, and this one came out really cool. Tote bag, and finally our logos. Then I sent it off to client and waited. And he really loved it. Now I started wrapping everything, all the file folders, elements, illustration in nicely organized folders, and the most important element, brand guidelines. This is like a Bible of your brand. It covers everything about your brand, brand values, all the tones of brands, photography style, and all the do's and don'ts, good practice, bad practice. Let's have a look together. So we start with about, brand values, our mission, vision, purpose, personality of brand, voice of brand, our logo suite and clear space, our primary logo, secondary logo, logo mark, and the most important part, incorrect uses, because you definitely don't want your logo to be destroyed like this. Now brand visual language, brand pattern. So since we have used checker pattern, so we have to make sure it looks consistent everywhere. So I have made a little usage guide for this. So first we have this, and second, we don't want these air pockets like this. On second, we want our checker pattern to be consistent. We don't want it to be like really zoomed in or really zoomed out. Now color palette, here are our hex values and everything. Now next, logo and background color uses. So it shows the combination of logo and background uses, which are do's and which are don'ts. Next, brand fonts. So these are our fonts, and this is a guide on which one to use as primary, which one to use as secondary, and supporting elements. And here are do's and don'ts for your fonts. And here are our mascots, illustrations, photography and social media. Here are social media designs. Next, photography style, because photography is really important part of branding, so we want to make sure it speaks the language and emotion of the brand. So I have added some do's and don'ts about it. Next, we have branding actions, and here are some mockups and the end. Now everything is done and dusted. Now I went back to sleep.